police in KwaZulu-Natal are investigating an inquest following the death of 23-year-old Mduduzi Luthuli at Discipline Bootcamp, South Africa. Luthuli attended the camp in early January but died just weeks later. His family is demanding answers from the organisers after he was rushed to hospital following an alleged assault while in their care. News of Africa's Seletu Ndlovu is tracking the story for us and joins us live. Lele, good to speak to you. We understand that you've had some conversation with other escapees from this boot camp.
Absolutely, Hugo. So earlier on, we indicated that we were able to track down some of the intakes from Discipline Bootcamp SA. Now, one of those intakes indicated to us that there's something called family court. Now, when we inquired with the owner of the boot camp, he stated that family court is when someone has done something wrong and then they discuss that particular wrongdoing with other intakes at the discipline boot camp. However, when we had a conversation with one of the people that escaped from the camp, he described it as something completely different. He states that it's when you've done something wrong and they allow the other intakes to assault you. At this point, once again, as stated earlier on, those are allegations at this particular point. Of course, as you've rightfully indicated, the police at this particular point are investigating an inquest. I want us to have a listen to what that one of the escapees had to say regarding what they describe as family court.
The family court is whereby all the intakes, like the children that are wearing like red and black pants, they will all like hit you with a pipe. They will stand a line since like there are 80 learners, you know. They will all stand a line and they will each take turns. Each and every intake will take a turn to hit you. And he or she cannot hit you once or twice. It's gotta be like 3 times, like strokes. It's either the bum or back, doesn't matter. 3 times up, and they all hit you with a pipe.
Now, it's not clear as yet if Mduduzi Luthuli was assaulted during what they call family camp, but the family court, I beg your pardon. But the family does allege that he was assaulted by 80 to 90 intakes during his time at this particular camp. Once again, these are allegations. They state that they spoke to those that were part of the group that actually tried to escape. I want us now to have a listen to the conversation that we had with the KZN police spokesperson, Colonel Robert Nechiwunda, regarding what he had to say regarding this particular matter.
What we have for now is that police were called to a hospital about a person who arrived and died. The reports indicate that this person was at a boot camp where those who brought him at the hospital reported that they found him vomiting inside the hostel there in a room. Then they took him to hospital. That's where he died. And as the police, we opened a case of inquest, which we are investigating. We are awaiting the results of the post-mortem to see what caused the death, and if there's anything more than the vomiting, or there's anything that caused the vomiting, police will determine which step to take further.
Leda, just give us some insights into what you know about this discipline boot camp. How do these inmates or learners end up at the camp?
Well, from the conversation that we had, not only with the family that's involved, but other families that have actually taken their children to the boot camp, it seems as if there's a fee that you have to pay before you can admit your child at the boot camp. Now, what happens is that the boot camp will then make a collection, or you can make a drop-off. But for this particular family, the Luthuli family, we understand that the boot camp collected Mduduzi Luthuli from his home. So these children, Hugo, from our understanding, have a number of issues or problems or challenges. Mduduzi Luthuli was struggling with drug abuse, and we understand from the conversation that we had with the owner that most of those 80, 90 intakes that are at the camp do struggle with drug abuse. Now, from the conversation that we had with their parents, they state that you pay a fee. You could either drop off your child, or you could have your child collected from your home. According to their Facebook page, they do state that they provide assistance for children that have bad attitude, that struggle with alcohol abuse or drug abuse, among others. So that's the understanding that we had from the many conversations, in fact, that we had with different families.
So, Leto and Love, appreciate that. That's where we leave that conversation. Boot camp in the crosshairs of the authorities following the untimely passing of one of their inmates.
Police in KwaZulu-Natal have launched an inquest investigation into the death of 23-year-old Mduduzi Luthuli, who died weeks after attending Discipline Bootcamp SA, a private camp that claims to rehabilitate and instill discipline in young people. His death has sparked outrage, grief, and renewed debate around the regulation, safety, and accountability of private boot camps operating in South Africa. Mduduzi Luthuli attended the boot camp in early January, according to his family. What was meant to be a corrective intervention aimed at helping him improve his life has instead ended in tragedy, leaving his loved ones devastated and searching for answers. The circumstances surrounding his death remain unclear, prompting police to open an inquest to determine whether there was any criminal conduct or negligence involved. The family says Mduduzi returned home from the camp visibly changed, physically weakened, emotionally withdrawn, and complaining of pain. Within weeks, his condition deteriorated rapidly, and he later died. His death has raised serious questions about what he experienced while at the camp, what conditions he was subjected to, and whether proper medical care was provided. According to relatives, Mduduzi was sent to Discipline Bootcamp SA after concerns were raised about his behavior and direction in life. Like many families facing similar challenges, they believed the camp would offer structure, guidance, and support. Instead, they now say they feel betrayed and misled. "We trusted them with our child," said a family member. "We thought this was a place that helps young people, not a place where someone would come back sick and later die." Police in KwaZulu-Natal confirmed that an inquest docket has been opened to investigate the cause of death. An inquest is a formal legal process used when a death is sudden, unexplained, or potentially linked to external factors. The aim is to establish how Mduduzi died and whether anyone can be held accountable. Spokespersons for the South African Police Service, SAPS, said investigators are gathering statements from family members, camp organizers, staff, and anyone else who may have had contact with Mduduzi during or after his time at the camp. Medical records and post-mortem results are also expected to play a key role in the investigation. Discipline Bootcamp SA markets itself as a program designed to reform behavior through strict routines, physical training, and discipline-based methods. However, the death of a participant has cast a harsh spotlight on the camp's practices and raised concerns about whether such institutions are adequately monitored. Experts warn that boot camps, particularly those operating privately, often fall into regulatory gray areas. While some claim to provide rehabilitation or life skills training, there are questions about whether they are subject to sufficient oversight from government departments, such as social development, health, or education. Human rights organizations have long cautioned against the use of harsh discipline and physical punishment, especially in unregulated environments. They argue that such approaches can cause physical harm, psychological trauma, and in extreme cases, death. "This case is deeply troubling," said a social worker familiar with youth rehabilitation programs. "Any institution working with vulnerable young people has a duty of care. That duty includes ensuring physical safety, access to medical care, and respect for human dignity. The Luthuli family says they were not informed of any serious health issues while Mduduzi was at the camp. They claim they were only told that he was undergoing discipline and training, and that no warning was given about injuries or illness. After returning home, Mduduzi reportedly complained of body pain and exhaustion. Family members say his health continued to decline, prompting them to seek medical help. Despite these efforts, he died weeks later, leaving behind unanswered questions and deep emotional scars. Community members have rallied around the family, demanding transparency and justice. Some have called for Discipline Bootcamp SA to be shut down, pending the outcome of the investigation, while others are urging authorities to conduct broader inspections of similar facilities across the province. "This cannot be swept under the carpet," said a local community leader. "If one young man has died, we must ask how many others may have been harmed or put at risk." The case has also reignited a national conversation about how society deals with young people facing behavioral challenges. Critics argue that punitive approaches often do more harm than good, particularly when underlying issues such as trauma, unemployment, substance abuse, or mental health struggles are not addressed. Psychologists emphasize that discipline-based camps may fail to provide the therapeutic support many young people need. Instead of rehabilitation, they can create environments of fear and compliance, which may mask deeper problems. "There is a difference between discipline and abuse," said one mental health professional. "Any program that relies on physical exhaustion, humiliation, or coercion is dangerous, especially without professional oversight." Discipline Bootcamp SA has not publicly responded in detail to the allegations surrounding Mduduzi's death. Attempts to reach the organization for comment are ongoing. It remains unclear whether the camp has provided documentation, medical assessments, or incident reports to investigators. The Department of Social Development in KwaZulu-Natal has also been urged to intervene. Advocacy groups say the department should investigate whether the camp was registered, whether it complied with safety standards, and whether participants' rights were protected. Legal experts note that the outcome of the inquest will be crucial. If evidence suggests negligence, abuse, or unlawful conduct, the case could move beyond an inquest to criminal charges. Civil litigation may also follow, as the family seeks accountability and closure. For the Luthuli family, however, no legal outcome can undo their loss. They describe Mduduzi as a young man with potential, dreams, and a future that has now been cut short. "He was not perfect," said a relative, "but he deserved help, not death." As the investigation continues, police have urged anyone with information about Mduduzi's time at Discipline Bootcamp SA to come forward. They say witnesses, former participants, or staff members could play a vital role in uncovering the truth. The case has sent shockwaves through KwaZulu-Natal and beyond, serving as a stark reminder of the risks associated with unregulated institutions operating under the guise of rehabilitation. It has also highlighted the urgent need for clearer laws, stricter oversight, and better alternatives for families seeking help for their loved ones. For now, the death of Mduduzi Luthuli remains under investigation, and his family continues to wait for answers. Their hope is that the truth will emerge, accountability will follow, and no other family will have to endure a similar loss. As South Africa watches closely, the case raises a profound and painful question. When young people are sent away to be disciplined, who is responsible for ensuring they come back alive? Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Your support helps us bring you verified stories and hold those in power accountable.